Today we are going to be working on the I can statement of I can investigate and describe the associative property of addition and multiplication. The associative property has three specific rules. The first rule is numbers in same order. The second rule is operation the same. And the third rule is grouping changes. Now, those might not mean anything to you until we get our example in, which I'm going to give to you right now. So I want you to look for these three rules for associative property. So I have 4 plus 6 plus 7 equals 4 plus 6 plus 7. Now, this is an example of associative property, and the rules for associative property are simple and right here. The numbers need to be in the same order. So I have a 4, a 6, a 7 on this side of the equal sign, and a 4, a 6, and a 7 on this side of the equal sign. The numbers must be in the same order on both sides of the equal sign. Number 2, the operation needs to be the same. There is a plus sign here and a plus sign here. So there must be a plus sign on the other side of the equal sign and another plus sign there. We cannot switch operations, meaning I can't have a plus and a times sign or a plus and a subtract sign. They have to be the same on both sides of the equal sign. And my last is the groupings need to change. So in the first set, I have my parentheses around 6 plus 7. That's called a grouping. When I put parentheses around it, that means I am grouping those two numbers together. So since I grouped 6 and 7 on this side of the equal sign, I cannot group 6 and 7 on this side. So on this side, the grouping is 4 plus 6. So the grouping changed from 6 plus 7 to 4 plus 6. And this is how you can identify the associative property. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase and show you why the associative property shows equality. This time I'm going to use multiplication. So 5 times 1 times 6 equals 5 times 1 times 6. Now, the reason the associative property shows equality, meaning it's equals on both sides of the equal sign, is I always do my parentheses first. 6 times 1 is 6. 5 times 1 is 5. Is 6 equal to 5? Not yet. We still have to do the other part of our associative property. So I have a 6, which is what's in my parentheses. Then I take 5 times 6. And 5 times 6 equals 30. Now, bring down my equal sign. What do I have on the other side? In my grouping, it was 5 times 1, which equals 5. But I still have to continue with the rest of the number sentence, which is times 6. 5 times 6 equals 30. Does 30 equal 30? Absolutely. So we know that this is an example of associative property. Not only are the numbers in the same order, 5, 1, 6, 5, 1, 6, but the grouping is also the same, the operation is also the same. Multiplication, 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 multiplication. The grouping changes. 1 times 6 is grouped first, and on the other side of the equal sign, 5 times 1 is grouped. So, to review, the associative property is a property that deals with equality in the order of numbers. There are two types of associative property: the associative property of addition and the associative property of multiplication. For addition, remember it has to have only addition signs, and the grouping must change and the numbers must be in the same order. 5, 8, 4, 5, 8, 4. Plus, 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 plus. Grouped 5 and 8, grouped 8 and 4. And the same thing goes for multiplication. 9 times 2 times 3 equals 9 times 2 times 3. Again, numbers 9, 2, 3, 9, 2, 3. Operation times 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 times. Grouping 2 times 3 here, 9 times 2 here. If we work out both of these problems, we will see that they are both equal. This side is equal to this side, and this side is equal to this side if you follow these 3 rules. And this is defining our I can statement of I can investigate, which means prove that it's equal, and describe, which are my 3 rules, the associative property of addition and multiplication.